Hello, my business lovers. It's Jennifer Beaumont-Whyte here, and I'm the founder of Business Love Coaching and Events. And today I'm going to be doing another Business Love TV episode. Today I've got the wonderful, amazing Vee Roberts. She's going to be telling us her take on business love, the foundation of business of love. A foundation of business is love, L.O.V.E. She's going to give us her take on her journey into what she does now in inspiring business owners and helping them to make an impact in the world, which is what our Business Love membership is all about: making money, making an impact, and making the world a better place. Because I truly believe that as business owners, we have the power to, once we wake up, we can actually make a huge, big difference in the world. When we put planet and people before profit, profit naturally grows and the world becomes a better place. Anyway, now Vee, I met actually for the first time at one of my Business Love meetings, and she was introduced to us by Hyacinth, one of our Business Love members, and Hyacinth was singing singing her praises and saying she's a wonderful marketer. Got in touch with Vee, and she's so inspirational. So instead of me waffling on about how amazing Vee is going to demonstrate how amazing she actually is by telling us her little story. So Vee, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and then we can have a conversation about leadership, ownership, value, and evolution.
Fantastic. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me on today's episode, Jennifer. I'm Vee Roberts, and as you rightly said, I am a marketing and branding coach. I'm a multi-award winning consultant as well, and I run Insights Marketing. And with that company, I actually empower business owners to fall in love with marketing and branding and promoting their products and services consistently online and offline using a wide range of fully integrated tactics. So I've been doing that for just over 19 years. I've worked with some really big global brands, as well as high street retailers and smaller companies. But most recently, actually in the last 4 to 5 years, I've fallen in love with working with small to medium-sized businesses who are perhaps needing clarity on how to build their brand, or indeed they don't have a brand, but they're wanting to establish and maintain a consistent and credible brand online and offline. And that's what I've been doing successfully. As I said, I've got lots of people that speak very highly of me, but I also do work with training, coaching, and also delivering workshops, and also speak now internationally as well around the areas of branding, marketing, and social media.
Fantastic, Vee. That's you very succinctly put everything that I should have been saying out there to the public as well. So fantastic. Thank you. We are so lucky to have you here, because we've been having a challenge trying to hook up. I think this is the third time we've made an appointment to meet together and do this interview. So you know what? This is going to be a really powerful one, because this has actually been put together by God. I believe that we're going to have some really juicy content here. So my thing that talking about branding, for ages I've been trying to find a nice hook for business love, and I've come up with just recently with the acronym of L.O.V.E. I'm actually putting some powerful analogies around L.O.V.E: leadership, ownership, values, and evolution. Now, what's your take on leadership? Because my take on leadership is, what do you stand for? What are you leading your people into? Where do you want to take your message and take your the people who are following you? Mm-hmm. So is that the sort of thing that you do with when you're talking to your clients about branding?
Well, I think leadership in terms of branding, they're very different in my experience anyway. And when I talk about leadership, I think of it in relation to managing teams, managing people, managing resources. And that's slightly different to brand management, which is about looking after your visual identity, your assets, your strap line, your tone of voice, and so on. So I think if we were to look at them differently, just for this call, this episode, I would actually say leadership is around actually connecting with people and being a real person, but also leading by example. So demonstrating that you can actually walk your talk, and people at the same level. So never looking down on people, actually always looking at ways to bring people up, empower, and inspire. And I think real leaders are people that are non-judgmental. They totally embrace teamwork. They're not into blame culture. and they really are serving people. They are willing to go the extra mile. That to me is true leadership. Separate to branding, I think, because brand values and, you know, what you stand for as a brand is related to leadership, but not in the same way, because it's about what your business, what your company, what your identity stands for. Whereas leadership is more around the person. Makes sense.
Yeah. Fantastic. I mean, we all, each of us have a little sort of our own way of defining things, but that's so empowering. That's amazing. Thank you very much for that. And so what's your take on ownership then? Because to me, I had a real issue about owning my leadership, because it was like I was trying to say, okay, well, everybody else is important and I'm going to look after everyone else, and everyone else's business is so amazing. Let me shine the light on everyone else's business. But what I was realizing, that I needed to step up and take ownership of my leadership, because people looking at me to make a stand and go forward with something. And once I actually took hold of my ownership of, you know, my skills, my expertise, my you know, what I've got to offer, and even ownership of my mistakes, take responsibility, that really sort of just, there was like a 360-degree turnaround in what I was, you know, how I was feeling and what I was seeing in the world. I think, wow, this is just so amazing. I've got all this power, and I really need to take responsibility for it and take ownership and be accountable and, you know, go forward. Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with you on all of those points. And I think for most important for me, I mean, I've come from a corporate background, so I spent 15 plus years working as an employee. And one of the things that I found was fundamental to the success of me growing as an employee was accepting blame. As a team leader, actually, even when people within my team were not delivering, when people within my team had done things in error, you know, PR crisis, etc., it was actually me as team leader who was stepping up and saying, you know, I apologize on behalf of the entire team. And for me, that's what ownership's about. But when you actually own your own business and, you know, you love what you do, you serve, you're passionate, I think ownership on that sense is more around making sure that you're comfortable with stepping out as a leader and then being the face of your brand. So really owning your visual identity. And if I'm honest, for a while, I didn't own my brand. I was very often showing up as a logo, as I think I've told you before.
Yeah.
Platforms. And, you know, I've been doing it for 15 years plus with other, you know, contractors, you know, other employers I was working with. I was really encouraging them to show up as real people, because obviously people buy people. But even me, first started, I didn't really take ownership of my own brand and my own identity. And it was someone who I really looked up to, spoke to me, gave me a hug at one of my events, at the end of my event, and said, you know what, I'm going to call you up on the stage because I feel that people need to see you as the face behind Insight to Marketing, as the woman that's doing these award-winning events, which are, you know, as you know, Inspire Your Biz.
Yes.
And so I and that was in March 2015. I mean, I'd slowly been seeping my face through, you know, showing my face through things, but I really did take ownership back on International Women's Day in March 2015, and I haven't looked back since. And, you know, as I said, it's something that I'd been living through my own clients and even employers, but I'd never done it myself. And I think it makes a huge difference when we as business owners do take ownership of who we really are and stand up and stand out as the leaders that we're born to be. You know, I mean, a lot of the time we are shy, we are very humble.
Especially women. And I'm finding there's men in that category too who are really being shy and you know, not showing up authentically. I think in terms of men being like putting on a facade of, you know, I am the man, and you know, I'm not going to show my real feelings. But now, no matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, you have to be authentic and transparent with your business now. Absolutely. Especially if you're the identity of the business. You know, Absolutely. if you're the Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, even with bigger brands, you know, often when I do talks, I often use case studies of, you know, local supermarkets and telecoms companies. And one of the things that I see there is, you know, companies like Waitrose, Sainsbury's, you know, 3, Virgin Mobile, they cannot be faces of real people. You know, in their advertisements, yes, they use real people, they use real families, you know, for their campaigns. But actually, when you look across their materials, you know, their logo is what shows up as their brand identity. That's what you associate with, you know, Waitrose, the green, the W, etc. Sainsbury's is the orange S, and so on. But as smaller businesses, we really do need to show up and stand out, as I was saying earlier. And it's definitely about authenticity. It's definitely about taking ownership of who we really are, and you know, not mimicking being who we think we should be,
Mm-hmm.
not copying who we feel we should be more
Yeah.
like, but actually standing up and showing up as who we really are. Because I think your personality, your brand persona,
Mm-hmm.
will attract the right people to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, doesn't matter how quirky you are, how
Yeah.
dry you are with your sense of humor,
Yeah.
you know, people will come to you, because there'll be lots of people. This is a massive, you know, global place that we live in. And, you know, if you're online, it's even bigger of an ocean to play in. But there's lots of people that will automatically warm to your personality if you show up and take
As
ownership
you
of
are.
your brand.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I say your authentic vibe attracts your authentic tribe. And there was one point that I was saying, I don't want to have a tribe. I don't want to be the leader of a tribe. I want to be just part of the community. But then the community is looking at you to lead them somewhere, and they've been attracted to you because of you. So therefore, you've got to take ownership of that and just, you know, start speaking your truth, speak your message. Yeah, fantastic. Just before we go on to the next letter, you mentioned something about International Women's Day, and you're doing something really special in the new year, aren't you?
I am doing International Women's Day, yes, in Antigua in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are going away, myself and a few delegates. It's actually a personal trip for me because I love the island so much, but I'm actually taking over with me some speakers. Christine Giscombe is one of the speakers that I'm bringing along, and several others, speakers coming from Trinidad, Barbados, Grenada, the UK, Nottingham, Birmingham, Bath.
Wow.
And we are going to be celebrating International Women's Day on the island of Antigua between the 4th to the 11th of March. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Well done with all of that. That's a huge move. That's leadership. That's ownership. That's business love.
Absolutely. I'm looking to inspire a lot more people than we did this year when we went in March. So yeah, very excited about what's to come.
Fantastic. Okay, so the next letter, V, of L-O-V-E, is I have difficulty trying to choose between two words, value and values, and they're both to me extremely important. So values is what's important to you, your attributes, the things in life that are important to you, like your, you know, honesty, truth, all of those kind of things you bring to your brand, bring to the marketplace, and bring to your business. And then you also got value for money, you know, value in content, value, all of that kind of thing. So I want you, if you'd like to speak about that.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the first one, which is around values and what I stand for. I am really straightforward. I'm known as quite a straightforward speaker, very open and honest. I'm not the type of coach or individual that will see something and have an opinion but not voice it, especially if the client's paying me for my expertise.
Which is what you need. Yeah.
I can share and give my honest opinion and give recommendations, and then it's up to the client to then take that forward. So I would definitely say straightforward and honest is one of my kind of what I'm known for. I'm also a bit of a kick butt person because I like to see my clients get results. So one of the things I'm known for is if clients find it really hard with like focusing, or they find it very hard to coordinate their work, I will be there as an accountability partner and actually make sure that things get done. I'm all about results. I'm very results orientated as an individual, but also as a company. I would also say that I do offer value for money. So one of my stratlines that I use across my outdoor materials, my banners and things, is straightforward, simple solutions for you and your business. And that's basically what I represent and show up as. So I'm a solutions provider. If someone comes to me, you know, they don't know how to brand their business, they're really stuck on, you know, clarifying who their ideal customers are, maybe they need to work on their brand messaging, then I give them the solutions and actually give them lots of strategic ways to identify those areas and get clarity. So these are kind of like the very kind of, I guess, top line. And there's lots more, but I normally just say to myself and also others, don't go over 3 to 4 values, because once you understand what you're about, everything you do should automatically be aligned to that anyway. If that's
exactly, which is exactly what I do with my business soul shift program. We spend a whole session on eliciting your values, getting those. We sort of list them all out, you know, we really find out what you're really about. We list them all out and then we pitch one against the other until we get to the top 3 or 4. And then from that point in the course, we just pitch everything against that. Are we still aligned? Are we still aligned? And you'd be surprised how many people even to this day, people are, contact me and say, Jen, that values thing that you did, I really, that's the thing that changed my life, because I really understood myself, it's so amazing. Yeah,
so important.
very important.
A lot of my clients are clients that have been in business, 3+ years. Okay, so full fractional startups, but many of them are people that have been in business for 3+ years. And it's funny because last week I was speaking to a young lady who runs this very successful business, and she's in the beauty sector, and she's been trading for a long time, but she doesn't set herself sales targets, and she also doesn't have brand values. But she's running a successful business. And what I demonstrated to her is that just by working through what she stands for as a brand and understanding her brand personality, brand color palette, identifying exactly who want to buy her product based on who's currently buying it, who's bought it in the past, etc. And profiling, we were able to actually really make her marketing a lot sharper in terms of how she's spending her time and money. Because once you understand your values, there's only a certain type of profile, or a certain type of segment that you might want to appeal to, if you're a brand, then you can't necessarily be going to people that are not price sensitive, because nobody's price sensitive. So people who aren't price sensitive and they don't mind spending 60K on a handbag, they're going to be interested in how cost effective your solutions are.
Exactly. So you have to change things and match, align things accordingly. And
that's why, as I said, I'm about straightforward solutions. So there's no complicated jargon, very much straightforward, to the point, what you need, focused on solutions, focused on results, totally. And in terms of offering value for money as well, I mean, if I tell you that as a contractor, if I was to go to an agency, I'm always getting letters from agencies and emails saying, Vee, we've got this contract for you, because obviously I'm self-employed, come along and work for us at this contract, NHS want you, this person wants you. The contracts that I get are very, very good money. What I like about working for myself is that although I set my own fee, it's in the freedom and comfort of my own time. I manage my time. I don't have to clock in. Nobody tells me what time to finish, when I can go to my son's play, when I can bring my daughter to the doctors, and so on. So I don't mind taking a slight pay cut if it means that I can actually get that work-life balance, and I've got the freedom to do as I want. And I didn't speak about this too much, but one of the reasons that I didn't mind taking that risk of going freelance was that I had really struggled in my job, being senior, high up, and actually having people that perhaps weren't comfortable with me in that position or wanted to always undermine me. I really found it quite challenging, because I had a family, and it was really hard for me to get time off, to leave early, to finish early, to start a bit later than everyone else. And I felt very, very, awkward about that, because I was almost
been there, done that, yes.
Is worth taking that pay cut. So I can honestly say that my brand definitely offers value. In fact, my business coach told me back in May this year that I was too cheap, and that was like a real knock in the head for me, because I thought, okay, well, if she's saying this, then I really need to sort myself out.
You really do, and because the thing is, if you position yourself too cheap, you end up well, for me, when I was charging cheap for coaching, etc., there was a time when I had my hair salon. I can't remember if I've got this on record, but I'll use my hair salon as an example. Okay, so West End trained, West End everything, West End products, high end everything I was doing. So I decided I was going to open my own salon. My husband became ill, so I thought I'd open my own shop so I could get that autonomy. I could move around when I wanted to. And then so I opened a local shop, and all my clients came with me. I had clients coming from America and Oxford and all sorts of different places to my little shop. But the locals had a challenge, because I pitched my price in the local area, same sort of prices. And I'd get some comments like, well, you're too expensive, and and I'm thinking, but I'm the same as everyone else. So what I did was I put my prices up. The reason I put the prices up was I thought, if you don't appreciate the quality of my products, the quality of my work, I've been doing it for years and I'm giving you the best of my service, I really don't want you in my shop. So therefore, I put the price up, and then I got more and more high-end clients coming in, and they actually really appreciated what I was doing. So when you pitch yourself too low,
And you know what? I think it's all part of a learning experience because, as I said, I mean, I'm not shy to knowing about marketing and price pointing. But what I found was, even with my own business, I did make an assumption in the beginning that even though I had, 19 plus years of experience in the industry, and I'd planned campaigns, international campaigns, implemented campaigns, brand management surveys, advertising, you name it, there was of me that I guess was a bit frightened to state what I thought I was worth. But as I said, having that business coach and my mentor as well, and even a client said to me, you need to sort your pricing out. That was when I thought, okay, yes, I do need to sort that out. So I can honestly say I still offer a lot of value. I definitely offer value for what I do. I would describe myself as someone who is a bit of a generalist because I don't just do marketing. I don't just do social media. I don't just do branding. And on top of that, I don't just do it. I also know about it. So there are lots of coaches and consultants who may only have specialism in branding and design, for example, or Facebook advertising, or in how to use Periscope or YouTube. I actually have experience in coordinating campaigns across the board. So I am unique in that my offer does offer value, because if someone comes to work with me on a coaching program, or they indeed purchase one of my online programs, they get a bit more than what they bargained for. My online program about branding goes into, online and offline tactics to use your brand to promote your business. It's all related, but it's actually relevant to marketing as well. So I always cross over those areas, and therefore I can confidently say I definitely offer value for money for anyone that pays. You can see on my reviews anyway on Facebook, LinkedIn,
absolutely.
People come to my masterclasses and they definitely feel empowered and like they've spent money well spent. And I've had people that have thought about spending £99 for a course and then ask me when my next one is,
exactly.
So I definitely offer value, and definitely live by my values as well.
Fantastic. No, this is a testimony, because I've watched your Facebook lives, and you're always giving tips, giving ideas, and that shows, that once that gives total confidence. And when someone works with you, they know that they're going to be totally taken care of. It's like, okay, I've got you covered here. I've got everything that you need to know about your marketing and getting you out there. So that's absolutely perfect.
The live streams are really always on branding and marketing. I very rarely live stream about social media, and I very rarely live stream about all the other areas that I cover. But as I said, I'm a fully integrated marcom specialist. And so when it comes to marketing communications, that's what I've kind of done, lots of hands-on stuff. And the branding stuff, I've managed brands from scratch. I've built brands, done brand guidelines, style guides, written guides, newsletters, name it, I've done it. And so it's right across the board.
It's a lesson in following your example, though, in terms of focusing on one or two things, maybe just one thing when you're actually delivering something, because you don't want to be confusing with everything you do, because it's like, whoa, the confused mind does nothing. So if you focus on the one thing when you're out there and show yourself as that, once you get them into it's like I call them, like once you hook them onto your boat, you can show them all the other fish that you've got on the boat there to offer as well. So fantastic. So sorry about that little interlude there, because I forgot to turn off my phone. So I'm not going to edit it out. This is just this is what I like doing, freestyle and just being natural. So Vee, in terms of evolution, the evolution thing is business evolution over time, over history. Business has been like, between government and religion, business has been like, up and down. And I believe that business going forward is going to be the thing that actually makes a difference in the world, beyond religion, beyond religious leaders, because they seem to can't get it right. Government seems to be fighting amongst itself. The world is in a really disastrous state. So in terms of business evolving and helping and sharing and giving back and making that real difference, how do you see your business going forward, and how do you see your industry going forward?
Well, I think in terms of technological advancements, the industry itself is going to go forward big time. I mean, if we just take social media as an example, and the use of video and live streaming, that's going to really take off next year, more so than it has now. In fact, at the beginning of this year, that 74% of content is going to come from video next year. So when you do a search on Google, which is obviously owned by, when you do a search
YouTube,
on Google, YouTube is owned by Google, right? your YouTube videos will come up, because 74% of video content is going to be from video.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's quite a powerful number. And then when you look at tools and tactics like Periscope, which is live streaming, you know, we had Blab TV, which is now gone.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. And, you know, you've got Vimeo, you've got Tumblr, you've got all these things. You've got video now via Twitter, live streaming facility on Instagram and Snapchat. Technologically, there's going to be advancements that are going to automatically help us to move up, you know, in terms of our business and what we're doing. I guess as well, helping us to reduce costs in terms of marketing, because video, aside from the editing, when there's editing involved, is a great way to communicate with people for, you know, a little cost, other than having your smartphone or a tablet or a really good camera. You know, once you've filmed or you've done your live stream, you know, minus any editing, it's actually quite affordable to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Filming videos.
Yes. Yeah. It just takes a bit of time. I'm getting used to it. I did my last video and I put a little an intro, and I did a little outro, and I started doing the little the captions at the bottom as well, which is really good fun. And it doesn't take, once you get into it and once you know where everything is, it's really quite easy to do. So talking about the technology for a second, and the live streaming, how as a business owner, because what I'm finding is, I mean, I did my vlogging challenge to try and get used to being on video, so that doesn't bother me anymore. But the live stuff is what challenges me, because I always think, if I get it wrong and I start blabbing like I do, how do I get myself out of that? And I want to really give a good impression, and I'm not really good with scripts. So how do you sorry?
I saw you live streaming the other day. You were absolutely fine.
Yeah, but that's just like getting a feedback on that. I don't know how it's been perceived, sort of thing. So when I do the recording, I can see it. I can look and think, okay, I can improve. But once it's out there as a live, it's out there, and you think, oh my God, how are people viewing that? Did they get the message? Did they understand? And you can't really judge by the amount of likes and hearts and things you get, because it could be the wrong time of day for your people to be watching. So is there any sort of tip that you can do?
Sometimes people don't like to give likes and hearts. A point I would make as well is, even with Twitter, you know, sometimes people look for retweets and likes and replies. Actually, on Twitter, what a lot of people don't realize is that someone could have clicked on a link that you've put in a tweet, and you'd have no idea unless you look at your analytics. Sometimes people could go to your Facebook page, you know, and click on a link without liking or you know, engaging with your post, you know, retweeting, sharing, forwarding, commenting, and that still counts as engagement. So it's really important not to get, I guess, engrossed in worrying about statistics. I think the key thing is, when you're doing live streaming, be totally comfortable in what you're going to talk about. Make sure that you remember that your settings are there for a reason. So if you don't want the whole world to see it, set it to private. If you're going to do it on your personal page, make sure your profile is set to private when you do your live stream. If it's on a business page, which I thought it would be, then it's set to public automatically. But you can try it out for a while on your personal profile, just until you get used to it. So setting it to private, or setting it to only me even, which would be yourself, or even just setting it to, you know, close friends or contacts, that might be a to start off with. But the key thing is, think about what you want to say before you go live. Make sure that your lighting's really good. Make sure that you're holding the camera in the right position. Okay, so that's important. And make sure that when someone does show up, you are actually greeting them. So even if you're mid-flow of conversation, find a point in that live stream where you acknowledge that person if you get time. And don't ever say, I'm just going to wait for someone to come into the room.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that when people say, so, you know, because it's actually being recorded like that. I just start talking. I just start, because I think, well, you know what, it's going to be recorded, so therefore they'll get that bit when they watch it. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And, I mean, I've seen you on live stream. I think you look really, really good. Came across.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that encouragement.
My main thing would be, you just be very confident. Speak about what you know about, because if people ask you live, you know, what do you mean by that, or can you clarify that? You're live, so you've got to be able to show up and represent, you know. And demonstrate. But
which is again coming back to that leadership thing and the ownership thing, and being there for your people, like being there for your followers, your customers, you know, being ready to say, hey, you know what, this is what's valuable to me at this point, this is what's important, and I want to share this with you.
Absolutely. And a lot of people feedback on my live streams. I mean, there are people that I haven't spoken to for months, and when I check in with them and ask them how they're doing, they say, you know, I know we haven't spoken, but I've been watching your live streams, and that's how I've stayed in touch with you. And that's quite impressive. That's actually, you know, really, really good stuff. And, you know, I do videos regularly, and I always try and offer value, as again, going back to the point with the V. But I also write lots of blog posts as well, many of which are available on LinkedIn, absolutely free of charge, you know, telling people how they can, you know, build their own banner, what they should do when they're exhibiting at an event, you know, how to use LinkedIn, all these kind of things. And my blogs are across the board. So they cover my expertise areas: branding, marketing, and social media. Whereas my videos are very much just about marketing and branding, because I don't want to get people overwhelmed with what I do. And, you know,
you brought up an important thing around the actual engagement again, because yes, we're going to be doing more live stream stuff and video stuff and visual stuff, but I really think that the written stuff is very, very important as well, because sometimes you can't, you know, yes, you can watch the video, but then to actually act on things, you have to take down notes, and you know, you have to decipher everything, whereas writing and blogging and having points written down for you so you can actually take the steps, still is important as well. And I don't think people should abandon that. I have abandoned it for a while because I've been redesigning me, and I've had a few personal issues myself. But getting back to blogging, I think that's so important to get your, you know, visual and the written down out there to engage with your people. And
I would encourage that. I mean, I've got you know, feedback from several clients about, you know, they don't like writing, and then obviously the alternative is vlogging, which is the video blogging. There's ways to get around it, you know, and I think it's quite powerful to be able to give someone steps or how to, or, you know, even visually showing them on a video how to do something or doing a demonstration is very, very powerful. And definitely in the next few, you know, months, years, we're definitely going to see more advancement in these areas. Digital is going to blow even more than it has already, and whether people like it or not, social media is today. And so, you know, I would definitely say that, you know, just familiarizing ourselves with all of the channels and making sure that we are on the right channels, not assuming that we should be on Twitter or be on Facebook, because, you know, if you aren't getting much traction there, no engagement, no orders, no inquiries, then potentially you're either doing your content marketing wrong or to review your target audience. So I think it's a lot about understanding who your target audience is, and then looking at what platforms there are in terms of digital media, and really jumping on those based on where your audience are.
And as well, knowing what you want to do, because not everybody wants to do everything. Some people are comfortable with certain things. You've got to match the two sides. You've got to find out where your audience is and find out if you love to be there as well. So once you love, when there's love on both sides, they love to be there, you love to be with them on the one platform or a couple of platforms, then you've got a match made in heaven. But you need to find out what you want. Don't slave over something if you don't like it, because it will show. It will show in your delivery as well. Oh, I don't like doing this, but I'm supposed to, because everybody else is doing it. You need to find the one, and there's so many to choose from. So
absolutely. I mean, one of the things I've been saying very recently since I've been doing the meetups is, don't force yourself to go on Twitter. Even if you feel that you can embrace Twitter right now, if you're just used to Facebook, if you're just getting used to Instagram, don't throw Twitter in the mix straight away, because it's something that you've got to get into a rhythm of using, and it's not for everyone. You know, and that's fine.
Exactly. Fabulous. So we talked about the industry and evolution in the industry. So what about Vee herself, your evolution and your own business evolution as well? Where were you taking, because there's two separate, well, I don't know, they could be the same thing.
I'm looking to do more events internationally, and I'm also looking to bring on a group of young people that I'm going to be working with, all will be revealed very soon. But my brand has evolved a little bit since it first started anyway, because in the beginning I wanted to get into helping people to manage their events, whereas now what I actually do is help people who run events to promote their event and to position as the go-to event, you know, run a campaign around the event using, you know, advertising, PR, buying some media, getting sponsors in, you know, organizing radio ads, etc. I do that, and I have support for people that need that kind of support.
Well, we must speak, because Business Love, you know, Business Love International Membership Club, that's exactly, I need it to go global. So we have to speak.
I mean, as I said, when I started, I had this vision I was going to be doing what I'd always done with employers, which was marketing, campaign management, strategic plans, budget management, marketing strategies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on events, delivering of events, sponsorship, and actually implementing, you know, the whole events program. So, you know, we're talking about a 3-year program, property management conference, you name it. I had to do that.
Wow.
And when I started Insight to Marketing, I had this vision that I was going to be doing events. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. So I didn't do events. But instead, what I did do, as you know, is I launched Inspire Your Biz in 2014. And so that's the events kind of came back in, but in a different way. So yeah, my main service with regards to events is campaign planning to support event managers. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic, fabulous. Okay, so right, could you just let our viewers know your website, how people can get in touch with you, your website, Inspire Your Biz and events, and your email or contact details that they need to be able to get it, because I'm sure you'll be inundated. So choose wisely.
I speak to anyone in the Business Love Network. I think I've expressed that to you before. Such a great community that you've got and built, and you know, really well done to you on that. I can be contacted in a number of ways. The primary way is via my hashtag, which is AskI2M. So that's hashtag ask, as in ask a question, I, the letter, 2, the number, and M for Mike. Now, if you put that into Google, you'll find me straight away. Failing that, if you don't mind typing it all out, you can actually find me via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it, using my business name, which is Insight, the number 2, and marketing. And as you did ask Jennifer, with the Inspire Your Biz events, it is Inspire URBIZ, and that's how you can find out more about my events too.
Okay, so when's the next one coming up?
Next one is 20th of January, and I think we've got about 9 tickets left on that.
Okay.
We're really on the early birds. We've got Stephen Haggerty, myself, and June Crandon speaking on well-being, goal setting, and also marketing. So marketing planning.
Fabulous. Is that a whole day event, or is it just a few hours? How does it work?
10:30 till 2. So and it's lunch.
10 till 2.
Yes, 10:30 till 2. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. I will be there. Fantastic. Great stuff. So, okay, just before we finish, because time's getting short now, thank you so much for all the insight that you've given us and all the ideas and things. Is there like 3 tips that you can give our viewers to progress their business or take their business love to the next level or impact the world?
I think in terms of having an impact on the world, you need to be able to clarify and identify who you are as the brand in business. If you're running a business, you have a brand, so think about what that brand stands up as and shows up as. So the first thing I would say is clarify your brand identity, not just visually, not just having a website, not just having, you know, a nice strap line. Actually work out your brand personality, okay, and also your brand core values. And then marketing, which is obviously my second of the 3 areas that I cover, making sure that you are reviewing your marketing regularly, even if you're implementing, you know, leaflet drops, or, you know, you're doing some paid advertising somewhere. Make sure you are planning it and reviewing it regularly, because only then can you get best results. Because if you're just implementing lots of marketing, but you're not actually measuring the impact you're having, then you could potentially be wasting money. And I've got a 5-day marketing challenge, which is starting up on the 9th of January for 5 days. So if people want to join that, they can. If they want to review their marketing with me, they can. Just thought I'd mention that actually. But thank you. Really good way to look at your marketing efforts is to review it regularly. So assign yourself a budget, look at the resources that you've got available in terms of time, people, and money, and then map out in date order, ideally, what activities you really want to do and what activities you can afford to do. And then in terms of social media, as I mentioned earlier, my third of the 3 topics that I really like to cover, make sure that you're showing up on the right platforms. Don't make any assumptions around where you should be showing up online. So be where your ideal customers are hanging out. If they're all on Instagram, you know, if you've got interior design company, you make soap, you do hair, you know, you've got a consultancy business, make sure that you're showing up where your paying customers are showing up also, so that you can attract the right people.
Fantastic. So all good advice. So clarify your brand personality, who you are, what you represent and what you stand for. Marketing, review, plan, review, test and measure, time, money, people, and then show up at the right place, in the right time, in the right way. Vee, thank you so much. I'm so pleased. Finally, God, see, I knew this would be worth it. God knows, He knows, you know, and He's got us here at the right time, the right place to do the right thing. Thank you so much. And yeah, I will see you soon. And thank you for your input for today. And yeah, bless you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay. Bye now. Bye.